Hello everyone, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen. Apparently I have no voice. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, hello. Welcome to the start of another weekend vlog. It is past 3 a.m. on a Friday of a long weekend. We, my friends, are gonna be settling in for some reading this weekend. I had thoughts of doing a timer-led 24-hour readathon. We'll see if I feel that way tomorrow, but I have tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday to do so, if I decide to do so. So we shall see. But I have options if I do. I have my 2 current reads, which I just realized that turning off most of the lights in my apartment was probably not the greatest idea to do this update, but that's okay. It's mood lighting. I got Relics of Ruin by Erin Evans, which I may choose, I may not choose, because I want to savor this. But I also simultaneously just want to devour it. We'll see. Got that one. I also started The Poisons We Drink by Bethany Baptiste the other day. I really like the first 100 pages of this book. I think this is going to be number 1 for whatever I end up reading this weekend. Apparently it's been marketed as YA, but it's giving, what is it, new adult? Is that what it's called? Shit's got teeth. I don't think this is YA, so I'm liking it so far. It's very good so far. I also have, of course, the next best thing, The Broken Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. This is on this list because if I pick anything, it should be this once I'm done The Poisons We Drink. So there's that. I also have Blood Over Brighthaven by Emma Wong, which I might start. I don't have the audiobook for it. I don't think it's available anywhere because this has been picked up for traditional publishing, and I don't know when that audiobook is coming out. It's later this year. So maybe if I get a hankering for no audiobook time. I also have 2 sci-fis. I have These Burning Stars by Bethany Jacobs. Really want to read that. And Rubicon by J.S. Doze. And lastly, All My Rage by Sabaa Tahir, which is a complete deviation from everything else on this list. So if I want to be sad, I'll read this one. That one's not very high on the TBR though. And I got a million other books I could pick. I got some novellas I could pick too if I want to do the 24-hour readathon. Anyways, that's the plan, my friends. You and me and this couch. Cushions. My couch is being fixed. I think it has been fixed, but the guy called me last week or this past week because I was like, hey, when's my couch coming back? Can I have it back? Because it hurts sitting on the floor. I missed my couch. He called me. He was like, it's going to be done in the next couple days. So this was on Wednesday when I called him. It's going to be done in the next couple days and we'll get it on a truck on Friday, but we won't be back in Winnipeg until Wednesday because they're out of the city. Love that for me. I'll get my couch back on Wednesday, I think. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. I just watched a copious amount of Criminal Minds. I'm now on season 8, episode 1. I think so far my favorite episode has been season 7, episode 24. That was a fantastic episode. I guess 23 and 24 were combined. They're connected, so I mean, both of them. They were really good episodes. I love that show so fucking much. I also really want to watch The Phantom Menace properly. I started it last night and I got an hour into it, I think. No, not even. I think I have an hour left. So would love to actually watch that. I actually ended up watching the first Star Wars movie, episode 5, or episode 4, sorry, apologies, Roman numerals, episode 4 properly last night. I actually paid attention to it, and I get what everybody's been talking about, how good of a movie it is. I really fucking like that movie, and I like the way that, I think it's just because I've been listening to so much writing about dragons and shit, but B. Dave and Trevor always bring up New Hope, because it does something. It really sets up the story well, and it honestly acts pretty well as a standalone, despite the fact that we don't get a showdown between Vader and Luke in it, right? But it really sets up the trilogy well. It sets up everything so deliciously, and actually paying attention to the movie, who would have thought that it would be so good? I mean, I loved it before. I just never really fully paid attention to the beginning of the movie. I was always caught up doing other things, but I really enjoyed the second and the third movie when I watched it a couple weekends ago. Finally properly watched the first of the trilogy. And then I decided to watch the first of The Phantom Menace, or at least a little bit of it the other night. Yesterday night. But now it's 3:15 and I sat back down. It was a bad idea. But I've also been crocheting a cardigan for myself, but a cropped cardigan, because I want one that goes with my dresses that are longer, that cinch at the waist. I need something that hits me right about there. And everything that I own hits me at my butt, or where a belt would be, my shorter cropped cardigans. So I'm making one on my own. I'm proud of it so far. I found a new pattern on Pinterest and I'm adapting it because I have the wrong size yarn for that pattern. So I'm just kind of like loosely following what they're talking about. And it's worked in 3 pieces rather than like 5, which is interesting because like the front 2 panels and the back panel are made as one big piece, which is fascinating. I'm enjoying it very much. And then I just have to do the arms after this. And ribbing, of course, but like ribbing is whatever. That'll just be brainless while I'm watching something. But that's gonna be the weekend. Even if I don't do a 24-hour thing, maybe I'll do like a 12-hour timer LED just so I can like do something interesting and just read. Because I just wanna read every single one of these books that I talked about today, or talked about in this clip, so desperately because I have so many other books on my TBR that I also want to get to. So that's the plan. I also have books on my Kobo that I could also read. I have Diana Quincy's first in one of her romance books, which she's a Palestinian author. So Palestinian American author, I think. She's a historical romance author. And I have one of her books on my Kobo from the library. So that's also on my list because I kind of have a weird hankering. Maybe it's all the Bridgerton fever because no, I'm not watching Bridgerton right now. I'm going to wait until everything is out and binge the hell out of it and get access to Netflix to do so because I currently don't have access to Netflix because the Netflix I was using was my parents' Netflix and they did that stupid password sharing thing. Every so often, I do get access to Netflix though. I do get an in for like a little sneaky in. So, you know, hopefully that sneaky in will open up on my TV again, then I can watch it. But I feel like that's affecting me. It's one of those things where I'm like, oh, look, you can see me properly now, or at least better. But yeah, I think that that's leaking into my psyche of seeing all the Bridgerton hype. And I'm like, what about a historical romance? Anyways, friends, this is the vlog. Welcome to it. I'll see you tomorrow. I got a package. Hello, friends. Happy Saturday. It is 5:30 and I have been reading for 2 hours. Exactly. It's not gonna focus on it, is it? Oh, there we go. And I'm now 270 some odd pages through this Poison Heart. Fuck, I'm loving this book. It is so dark. It is so intense. Oh my god. It is so intense, but it's good. It's like, it's an urban fantasy set in like Washington in an alternate universe where there are beings such called witchers who are around and they're people with magic. And it's set in this moment of like high stress between witchers and humans because witchers are being like prosecuted like crazy and being hunted by humans and all this kind of stuff. Our main character, Venus, is the older sister in a duo. Venus is 18 and she is what's called the Love Witcher. So her like ability, she is a brewer. She can create like potions and stuff, specifically love-based potions. And there's a bunch of different kinds of love-based potions that she can do. And she just needs like the recipes for it. And they're like different levels. So like first level is not so crazy. Second level is a little bit crazier. And third level, you know, has a chance of killing her when they make it. So it's a very dangerous situation. But at the beginning of this book, not actually at the beginning, a little ways into this book, somebody kills her mother and it kind of sets her off on this weirdly twisted journey to figuring out who, but then it's not really about that. It's about someone else who like ropes her into doing things for her or for them. And it's twisted and dark and it's just genuinely so like uneasy reading this book, but it's in a really good way because like it's also warm storytelling. Like it's so well done. It feels very action-packed and I couldn't put it down even though we got to like the inciting incident, which is the death of her mother later in the book than we should have gotten. So this is also what's making me think this isn't necessarily YA, because YA is supposed to be snappy and action-packed, and especially YA fantasy. I should specify YA fantasy is snappy as shit because there's short chapters. It gets to the point really quickly and all this kind of stuff. That's kind of what I've seen happen in the industry recently. is that is the trend that we're going towards, whereas adult fantasy takes its time and sits and just stews in stuff. This one is taking its time, but it is also layered and intense, and it is this gentle sense of dread kind of in these pages, and it is so fucking good. I'm highly enjoying myself with this book. It is very, very, very good. Highly recommend if it at all interests you. It's I don't even know how to describe it. I'm gonna have to get to the end of it to be able to describe it. I also don't know if it's like the first in a series or not. Couldn't tell you, but the beauties have arrived. Look at that. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my god, that's so gorgeous. Is this book 2? Nope, this is book 4. So this is the latest in Samantha Shannon's works, The Mask Falling, the author's preferred text, and then we have the mime order. This is book 2. Yes, stunning second novel. Oh my god, I don't know which one of these is my favorite. I couldn't tell you. Every time I see the cover of The Song Rising, I see this flag on this building on the side here, and it looks like a sticker that's gotten stuck in my brain, like, because it's so white. It just like, it looks like a sticker that's gotten stuck that I want to like go and peel off, but it's not. It's part of the design because there's another one kind of hidden in the title there. I am obsessed. So this is book 3. This is so much thinner than the other two. Wow. Look at the difference. Okay. I got 1, 2, and 3. And then we got 2, 3, and 4. Sorry, my apologies. Book 1 is over there. Oh, these are so beautiful. Ooh, y'all, I've been having a really hard time with my mental health lately, and this just made me feel so happy. I just spent $100 on these books, and I don't even care. They are so beautiful. Ooh, and they were on sale too. Maybe it wasn't $100, maybe it was $80. Still, they were on sale. I got them each for like $28, which, yeah, that was on sale because these are, how much Canadian? $41.99 Canadian, and I got them for $28 each. Fucking iconic. Oh my god, they're so pretty. I actually went in store the other day to try find them in store, but the ones that they have in store at my local indie are the paperback versions of this, and I was like, well shit, if I had known we were getting paperback versions, I would have waited for that, but I didn't know. And these match my Priory ones, so that's very exciting. I'll show you the covers. Look at these beautiful babies. The detail is just gorgeous. I am obsessed with these. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god, I love the way they all match with the framing too. Look at the Song Rising. Oh my god. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm so excited to read these now. Samantha Shannon is such an incredible author. Like, I've absolutely loved Fire of the Orange Tree, and I cannot wait to get into this series properly. I also need to read A Day of Fallen Night, but that's okay. Look at this beautiful book. I think The Mask Falling is my favorite one. I think this one's my favorite one, just because of the colors. I love, love, love these covers. Anyways, that was the treat because my mental health has been shit. So this was the treat from me to me. I'm very happy about it. Very happy about this treat. I think I'm gonna get some leftovers from dinner yesterday. But yeah, I think I have 2.5 hours left of the audiobook for Poisons We Make. Or no, what is it? The Poisons We Drink. That's right. I'm gonna finish that up and then see what happens. I don't know if I'm gonna aim for a full 24 hours over the next 2 days from now. Maybe I'll aim for at least 12, just like a chill version of this readathon. Okay, friends, now we gotta figure out how we're gonna put this on the shelves. There's no room. Here's the bone season. I was really worried for like 3 seconds that these would not be the same height because I saw in someone's video recently that their copy of the Bone Season, this like redone one, like didn't match the height. And I was like, excuse me? I was really worried that the heights would not match, but they do. Thank God. This is book 1, by the way. Isn't she gorgeous? Obsessed. Okay. Oh, they all match. Thank you, Bloomsbury. For making the heights match. Oh my god. Stunning. You all fit on top of A Day of Fallen Night. Stunning. Stunning. Haha. Oh, it's so beautiful. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous, glorious, amazing. We love. Thank you, Bloomsbury, for making all your books match in height. This makes me so happy. Oh my god. I really hope they keep making these versions for the next books. Just because they need to match. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't. But, oh god, they're so beautiful. Anyways, this is what I ended up doing. Stacking these. I feel like this doesn't really go here. But, stacking. Hold on. Ooh, 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 that did not work. This is a forever problem trying to figure out how to stack my books properly so they don't all just fall. Why are all my books here so lopsided? Stop that. Alright, so Pirate's Life fits there. So I just need to shift everything down just a smidgen to make room for Can't Spell Treason. And then I will have enough room for all of this. Hee hee. Ah, perfect. Okay, there we go. There. That's better. Yeah, all these books are slightly leaning for some reason. Maybe it's because of this. Oh yeah, that probably is why. This Bard City Blues can go up here. Look at these beautiful babies. Beautiful, beautiful babies. Anyways, now it's time for dinner. But yes, my friends, it's been chill, easy, cozy. It was sunny earlier, now it's raining. What's new? Apparently this spring is just a combination of weird weathers. I got some spaghetti and meatball type of just dump pasta from yesterday because it was wow, I have so many veggies in my fridge. Like I have enough veggies in my fridge to do something with it, and they're all gonna kind of go bad soon. So let me just chuck them all into a pasta. And then I was like, oh, I also have some meatballs left in my freezer. Use that too. Didn't have any pasta sauce, so I ended up using a General Tao VH sauce. Tastes good, especially when you have leftovers. It's great. Yeah, I should also say a giveaway for an annotated copy of A Second Story closed last night, and we got a couple of entries, thankfully, which is great. I had one person donate $25. I guess it was 25 pounds. Another person donated 5, another person donated 10. So we got some entries. We love to see it. We raised a little bit of money. Families in Gaza. I'm now thinking of just doing another giveaway for an annotated copy of A Little Luck, just to see if I can keep doing little things, but we'll see. We'll have to see how you know, we'll see if I can. But I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy that we managed to at least garner like $50 just about in donations. So yay. Yay for this little tiny corner of the internet we love. So watch out on my TikTok if you're curious to know who won the annotated copy. It'll be there. Anyways, yeah, now I'm gonna go enjoy this, read my book more. Maybe once I'm done this one, I will start another one, or maybe I'll just hang out and watch some Star Wars or Criminal Minds. Who's to say? It's a rainy, gloomy day. I'm just taking it easy. We got a beautiful haul of beautiful books. I'm reading a great book. It's all wonderful. Hello friends, it is now a little later and I finished The Poisons We Drink. My goodness, what a book. This was honestly so fucking good. I am bamboozled, honestly. Holy shit. Like it's been a little while since I finished it and like took a break from reading, and I've just been hanging out. I still don't know how to wrap my head around this. Like, it is like nothing I've read before. It should not be marketed as YA, number one. Number two, this has just so much depth and grit and, as I was saying, dread before, and also love. And this you almost watched the main character, like for some of the book, I was like, is she even a good character, like a good person? Is she the hero of this story, or is she the villain? Girlie was just caught up in shit that was making her go down a really bad road, and it was very self-destructive, and it was very Terrifying. Oh my god, girly just needs like the biggest hug, because oh god, Venus, what a girl. So did I even explain to you what this is about? I don't know if I did. It's about Venus, Love Witcher. She just keeps getting wrapped up deeper and deeper and deeper into this pit of things she can't get out of because of choices she makes and choices that people make her make. And it's just, it was so deeply good. And oh my god, I hope this is not a standalone. I really want this to be a series because this is phenomenal work. I loved every second of this book. Bethany Baptiste is a master storyteller. Oh my god, it was just so, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it had so much heart, so much depth, and it was so dark and so gritty and so just, like, it kept me hooked. Like, I didn't want to stop reading it at any moment. I was just, wow, like, what a book. What a book. And the world building in here was so intricate and so good. And it's urban fantasy, so it's set in like Washington, but layered over with an alternate universe type thing where these other beings are real. Oh god, like the magic systems in here were really, really cool. Like, they had a lot of rules, they had a lot of limits, but they also had a sense of wonder to them that comes with an unknowable kind of magic system that doesn't really have any rules. But it had that sense of wonder of like, what limits could this magic go to, and how many differences are there in this magic. Oh fuck, it was very good. Highly recommend. Definitely check triggers if you need to, because this was definitely very, 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 like, this should not be marketed as a YA book. This is so deeply not a YA book. The only thing that could make it be considered as a YA book is that our main character is 18. But even then, like, I've read adult fantasy books that have like children as main characters. So this should not be marketed as YA, because it just deeply is not. I know that brings into question the discussion of what makes a YA novel. And to me, what makes a YA novel is a level of the way the book is crafted and also the content. Because I know the content itself can get into these really dark, deep, gritty fucking themes that are brought up in this. But combined with the way that this is crafted and like the slightly slower, more depth brought in, less just dealing with internal teenage problems and actually dealing with life or death, high stakes, and having a lot of responsibility on your head. Like, there's so much layered in this book. And again, it's such a fine line as to what is a YA book and what is a high fantasy, or what is an adult book, right? There are nuances in YA books that don't appear in adult fantasy books. I don't know. There's a taste to YA books that this did not have, because this tasted like an adult fantasy book to me. I don't know how you can explain it, other than like last weekend when I was talking about the There Will Come a Darkness trilogy, an Age of Darkness trilogy. The pace in which those go at and the way that those are constructed with very short, snappy chapters. It has a big cast of characters, and it a lot of age ranges in that one as well, even though they feel older than they are. It has that unending churning push and pull, and there's angst and there's all this kind of stuff, and then like that marks it as a YA book to me. This isn't. This feels like a mature Legendborn to me. Even though Legendborn is also fantastic, this feels like a more mature Legendborn. I think that's how I can explain it. Even though I've never read anything like this has a story to it and a churning and the way that the author tells it just is so special. Wow. Okay. Really, really, really recommend this. I don't know what I'm gonna read next. I'm kind of torn up because I feel like I want to do a sci-fi, but I don't know. Do I want to do a sci-fi? I kind of want to do a sci-fi. I'm not gonna lie, I want to change it up a little. But do I do this sci-fi or do I do this sci-fi? This is the question of the hour, my friends. I don't know which one I want to do. I want to do both. I know. Okay, I'm gonna read a chapter of each, and then I'm gonna decide which one I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna keep reading for the night. Hello, beautiful friends. It is now past 1:30 in the morning, and I am more tired than I thought I would be at this time. So I'm going to bed. Simple as that. I ended up picking these burning stars by Bethany Jacobs. And I gotta say, I'm a little just on the fence about this one. I've heard so many good things. And as I was reading the first couple chapters, I was just not engaged with it. Like the first chapter, yeah, I was, which is why I picked it. But like getting into it was weird, and it took me about until 100-page mark when things started making more sense in my brain as to what this was about. I think I know what it's about. I think in my head it's becoming more of a thing where I'm like, this book feels so fantasy to me, which is throwing me off because I was expecting a sci-fi. It is a sci-fi, but it's so grounded in, like, it's so weird to say because whenever I feel like I'm reading something that's in another world, but it's in like a world on a planet somewhere, and we're just getting like politics of like world building and stuff, I'm like, well, this is just fantasy. Like, where's the tech? Where's the space stuff? And another book that did that to me, which is really funny because it's another book that I picked up because of Samantha. I think her TikTok is Ladybug Reads or something like that. Another one that I picked up because of Samantha was Stars Undying, which is an Antony and Cleopatra retelling. It was so intensely politically wrought, and it felt like fantasy again, and it just really didn't do it for me. Like, I was very detached from it. I think I rated it like 4 stars, but like in retrospect, I don't think I liked it as much as I thought I should like it. I think that's the issue. I think this one is giving a very similar flavor. It's more easily readable than the Stars Undying. These Burning Stars is much more easily readable, but it's still up there with like higher rhetoric. I was expecting to kind of sink into the story as easy as I did with the Blighted Stars. So many stars in titles. The Blighted Stars by Megan O'Keefe, which I fucking adored. Like, that sci-fi just really did it for me, that I read a couple weeks ago. This one is just not, it's more along the lines of The Undying Stars for me for sinking into the story, but I am enjoying the story more than I did with The Undying Star, or The Stars Undying. Jesus. So many stars in all these titles. Yeah, so we're following 3 different POVs, and we're also in 2 different timelines, and it's also to like denote the 2 different timelines. One's told in present tense and one's told in past tense, which is a really interesting way to do it. I like that the authors decided to actually fully do like the one, like the most current timeline is the present tense timeline. It's an interesting choice. And so we're following this, I don't even know what she is. She's this leader of some kind who's also in line for the throne somewhere. Essek. Her name is Essek. She is ruthless as fuck, which we love. We love a baddie. And she's giving off such intense, like, sharp energy. I don't know anything about her other than her, like, laissez-faire, blasé kind of situation, and I'm halfway through the book. We're following her, and then we're following a cleric who used to be one of Essek's novitiates, like someone who's like a fighter or something. Guardian, sort of, even though Essek herself is very intense. We're following cleric Chono, and she's more chill. She's more chill, but less chill. Like, she's more stoic, I should say. Stoic and just there. And then we're also following 3rd POV by the name of June, exclusively in the now timeline. We're following Chono and Essek in the previous timeline, and we're following Essek and Chono in the main timeline as well. So both of them are getting like different timelines, which are easy enough to follow despite it like jumping around. But June is solely in the now timeline, which is fun. And she is a thief, I want to say, that Essek is chasing at the moment because June has a coin that is some sort of like memory coin that has information on it that is detrimental to society. How? I don't know how it's detrimental to society. We've seen what's on the coin. I could not tell you how it's detrimental to anything. So yeah, there's some things that I'm just a little confused about. And I'm not following. Like, I'm pretty sure June is someone that they've mentioned. Like, I'm 99% sure, but I don't know why they're not just saying it in the text, unless I'm wrong. And Essek has also been following this. It's the main through story for the past timeline. It's Essek and Chono basically chasing this runaway kid from a school that Essek taunted and knew was extremely powerful and had a lot of potential, but this kid like ran away from the school, and then it's like 4 years later, 5 years later, and then Essek is chasing this person. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I thought I did, and now that I'm trying to talk it out, I don't think I do. So I'm gonna continue reading that tomorrow. I'm 50% of the way through, but like, it's not a bad book. I'm just not as engaged as I was with a previous sci-fi, and even with my previous read with The Poisons We Drink. That one just gripped me so intensely, and I was expecting to be gripped and awed with some sci-fi wonderfulness, and I'm getting more of a politically fraught, interesting like chase around the galaxy sort of thing that feels almost fantasy-like. I don't know what to say about that. I have been reading for 7 hours and 13 minutes. Look at that, 7 hours and 13 minutes. I don't know when the lapse happened. I think that might have been just me accidentally hitting something on my watch. But I know the first book I read for like 4 hours, roughly, today, so I've been reading this other one for 3 hours roughly. And I'm also trying out the Spotify audiobook feature. That's the update. I'm a little confused, and I'm not enjoying this book as much as I thought I was, but it makes a lot of sense that Samantha did recommend both The Stars Undying and this one to her. They were both 5 stars. I'm starting to see her taste in books a little bit for sci-fi. So maybe I just won't take her, she doesn't know me, but like maybe I won't take her recommendations very easily now that if this one doesn't quite do it for me. Anyways, I'm starting to look more and more crazy and I'm tired, so I'm gonna go to bed and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Look at the birdie. Oh, there he goes. Oh dear, look at him. So cute, a blue jay. Hello friends, happy Sunday. I just finished these burning stars. I'm getting dinner ready. What a time. A dinner is served. It's more leftovers. And an additional chicken parmesan from the air fryer. Because yes, I officially have finished the second book of this impromptu readathon. And I gotta say, the second half was better than the first half. It got me. And I'm interested to see the sequel now. I don't think I loved it as much as people have been saying they've loved it. There is that. But I do think that this was quite good. It's not really everything that I was expecting. Now that I'm at the end of it, I can kind of see what was actually going on, and the confusion that I had did lend to like better story stuff in the second half. I think I might just be confused because I wasn't like fully engrossed in the story, and for a little while there I wasn't like actually paying attention to every little thing. But this is definitely a book that needs your attention for every little thing. Really? God, every time I try to film things, it just gets noisier outside. So sorry. And funnily enough, today on TikTok, earlier when I was on TikTok scrolling, one of the people that I've been following, who actually inspired a number of the spreads in my bullet journal, they were filling out a spread, they are filling out some of their bullet journal stuff for this book specifically. And they were like, wow, like I gave it like 4.5 stars, and just something happened about the ending. I don't know how to feel about the ending. And they gave me like a little bit of more intrigue going into it, because I will say I was thinking about picking up a different book today instead of finishing this. But I'm glad that I finished this. I'm glad that I like stuck through it all the way to the end, because I was even thinking about like when I picked it up again for like 15 minutes when I was reading it, I was like, I'm on the edge of DNFing it, because I was like, I don't think I would care either way. Like if I didn't have so much hype towards this book and hadn't been really wanting to pick it up, at this point I probably would have just put it down, because I was not really, I didn't care. Like I felt like I was like, I'm not gonna miss this book if I put it down. But I stuck with it because I had so much hype for this book in my heart. And I'm glad I stuck with it, because I think it did land it at the end. It landed it at the end, which is really good. A little confused as to what that reviewer was talking about the ending, because I think the ending was very clear and I like the ending a whole heck of a lot. And it didn't really surprise me. There was one thing that like when we got to it, I was like, oh, like my insides were like, oh, that makes so much sense. So So I do really like the way that this was wrapped up. It is definitely the start of something incredibly political, incredibly intricate, because we only got like a hint of all that politics in here because the focus was so heavily on this chase for this thief, the chase for Essek to find Six, and Chono just being there for the ride. It was this chase in the past to find Six, and then the chase currently to find Jun, who is the thief, Sunstep, because the thief is stealing these memory coins that hold a lot of power. And now, like, I've got to the end of it, I realize what they hold and what, like, that whole situation could do to the kingdom. And so, like, that was the main thing. And there was also the interpersonal relationships between Essek and Chono that, like, blew me away in the way that they were developed in here. And my comment about Essek last night, about the fact that she was just so unknowable, like, I didn't really understand her character, but I understood the vibes. Like, we weren't getting... Like, I was getting a lot of Chono, I was getting a lot of Jun. And honestly, Jun was the one who saved this entire book for me, because it was her plotline that kicked in the interest for me at the beginning, around the 100-page mark. That's when my interest kind of kicked in, and it was because of Jun's plotline, because I am always here for some thieves. I just love those storylines so much. Someone explained it on, it was that reviewer that I talked about today with the bullet journal thing. They explained it as a cat and mouse game inside of a cat and mouse game, and I think that is very true. There's a lot going on, it's very twisty, but I wanted something more sci-fi. to like scratch that sci-fi itch, but alas, I did not get that with this, but it was still quite good. And I think the sci-fi itch that I wanted scratched was like that space operatic in spaceships all the time with lots of tech, which, like, there is that in here, but not enough for me. It's more politically based, which is why I was comparing it to The Stars Undying last night. It's better than The Stars Undying, in my opinion, but if you like The Stars Undying, read this. And if you like this, read The Stars Undying, because I think you'll like both of them. This was quite good. I'm glad that I stuck with it. And now I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna watch something. And then I think I'm gonna go into this one, because I've been saying I was gonna go into this one for many times. So I'm gonna start it for surezies. And knowing Miss N.K. Jemisin, I'm gonna probably just like consume it all in one go. So anyways, I have been reading for 10 hours and 5 minutes. Here we go. 10 hours, 5 minutes, 17 seconds. So far. I'm definitely gonna end up reading more than 12 hours, so we'll see how many more hours I get to read today and tomorrow. This is next on the docket. I'm gonna eat my dinner before Ghost Cove, and that's the update, my friends. Happy Sunday. Hello, beautiful friends. It is now 2:15 in the morning, and I didn't read very much longer than when I last talked to you. I don't even remember what I stopped the clock at. 11 hours and 2 minutes. So I read for exactly an hour more. We got to page 66 in the Broken Kingdoms. And I gotta say, this one's not grabbing me nearly as much as the first one was in this trilogy. It is still kind of interesting. It's the first one follows Yena, who is kind of thrown into this political situation, and then a whole lot of shit goes down. Whole lot of shit goes down. Oh, getting up off the floor, my foot is asleep. This one instead follows a new character, but it has some of the gods in it from the first book. So far, we've met Sia, and we've had mention of the Night Man. I don't remember his full name. The new character, Ori, is blind, but she has a really interesting ability to be able to see magic. So when she sees the gods, she can see them because their like whole body is shimmering, which is really cool. And she can like see magic manifesting in people when they use magic, which I don't know. I think that's a really cool little thing. Like, she may be blind and she may not be able to see people or like her surroundings or anything, but she can see them when they use magic. And so it's like this kind of an interesting added little detail, which I think is great, because I don't think I've read a book with a blind POV character, which is an interesting one. Immediately when I started reading it, I was like, how is Miss N.K. Jemisin going to do this without using any sight monikers for description in her books? But so far she's been fine, because she can use whatever little bit of glimmers that Ori can see to like cast a general sense of her environment. And there was one really interesting thing is that like this whole book kind of kicks off when Ori, who is a like artisan, like she sells her wares in this one particular spot. She goes down this alley to check something out because it's kind of a magic alley. There's a whole thing. And she goes to check it. Immediately she can smell blood, but it's not like regular people blood. She's like, no, this is godling blood. And she kind of like stumbles forward and she feels forward with her cane. And she's like, I should be able to see this godling because I can see godlings. I can see them because they shine, right? And obviously this godling is dead. So she stumbles upon a dead body in an alleyway. And like the slow description of it was really cool because she can't see. And so it was just like this slow kind of dread. So there's that. I went to the grocery store. I ended up listening to Writing About Dragons and Shit. Of course I did, the podcast, as I was walking around. The aisles, walking around the grocery aisles. Then when I got back home, I got a watermelon from the grocery store. And I decided to cut it up. Come on. There we go. Like have a couple snackies that I bought and, you know, all those things. Instead of reading anymore, I was like, oh, I'll watch one episode of Criminal Minds just for fun. And here we are, 7 or 8 episodes later, and I'm going to bed. So we have 11 hours of reading. There's no way I'm going to be doing 10 hours of reading tomorrow because I do have to also edit this vlog. So we'll see how much I end up reading. Maybe it'll be a 15-hour readathon. Who's to say? I do know one thing though. I got a pile of clothes on my bed I'm gonna have to deal with. So I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna go to bed. But I will chat to you tomorrow for Monday.
Billy! Bella! Who's there? Hey! Oh, look at those eyes.
I forgot it today was Monday and I did not edit this vlog. I am so sorry because you're gonna be watching this on Wednesday instead of Tuesday like usual. The long weekends with Monday is the long weekend mess me up. Anyways, I want to pop in and say, hey, I just finished my 3rd book of this weekend and of this impromptu readathon where I read for just under 14 hours. It probably was about 14 hours, which, you know, is always fun. You know, it's because between like actually remembering when to start my freaking timer and stuff like that, because I forgot to do that a few times. Finished The Broken Kingdoms, and this one just really didn't do it for me. I'm so disappointed because the first book was banger. Anyways, give me a second. Just something about it didn't do it for me. Maybe it was because the audiobook narrator was slightly different than the first one. I think she was different than the first one. I can't quite remember. She just didn't do it for me. And the story didn't catch me. Like, it almost had me a few times, mainly because of Ori and things that Ori was doing, but it had one of my least favorite tropes in it. Not miscommunication, but spoilers if you don't want to know anything about the second book in the Broken Kingdom, or in the 100,000 Kingdoms trilogy. But it has the woman loses her power at the end. I fucking hate that. And like, to live a mundane life. I hate it. I hate that trope so fucking much. It's such a stupid trope. Ori's power was so fucking cool and it was just getting stronger. And the only reason, like, the gods were gonna kill her anyway because she was like a thing that shouldn't exist. But I'm so fucking mad. She should have been able to go out in a blaze of cool magic, because her magic, not only could she see magic, and she could also, was that she could paint places and like make doorways with her paintings, which she didn't know because she's blind. Her dad just kept telling her when she was growing up, because her dad is also special like she was. Her dad just kept telling her, like, your paintings are magic, your paintings are magic, like, be careful who you show them to, don't show them to anybody, etc., etc., because what she is very dangerous. I don't know, the story itself just didn't do it for me, and I'm so sad. I missed the prowess of the first one. The first one had such amazing narration and incredible characters, and I loved the relationships in that book, and in this book they just felt odd to me. I don't know. It's weird to try and explain it, but something about this one just really didn't do it for me. I was bored most of the time. Most of the time I was just like not even fully paying attention, even though I had the book in my hand and I was also listening to the audiobook. It just didn't do it for me. I'm so sad. Hopefully the last one does it for me though. And I'm sad because N.K. Jemisin is one of my favorite authors of all time. She wrote my favorite trilogy of all time, the Broken Earth trilogy. So I had so much hope for this because The 100,000 Kingdoms, the first book in this trilogy, was fucking banger. It was so good, and hopefully the next one's good. I will say though, merits to this book. Sorry, I keep walking around. I'm gonna just lay down. Merits to this book. Going back to what I said about learning how to write a trilogy. I'm just realizing that I left my fan on, and that's probably all you can hear right now. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna just cup it this way so maybe you won't hear it as much. To what I said in previous vlogs and my recent writing video about writing a trilogy, you want to make book 1 stand really well on its own, and then book 2 and 3 can kind of lean on each other, kind of a thing in traditional publishing. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to write a trilogy where each book really does stand well on its own and there's no second book syndrome. And so with that in mind, what N.K. Jemisin did with this trilogy is something that is more akin to C.L. Polk's Witchmark series. It's the only one I can think of, and Heribeth Durst's The Queens of Renthia, where we have different narrators for each book in the trilogy. And book 1 stands extremely well on its own, and I'd even argue book 2 does too. Like, if you accidentally read book 2 out of order, there would be a lot of really confusing shit. But because we have Ori as our main character, Ori doesn't know what's happening either. She's learning about stuff that happened 10 years previously in the other book, as we are. We just don't get the details of it. So, like, you could technically read this trilogy out of order, I think. I'd have to read the third book to really solidify that opinion. But, like, she's making each story, she's made, past tense, each story stand on their own as their own full circle story. So I can give her that. I just didn't like this story very much. It was fine. I feel like there was just not any like oomph to it. I think Ori as a character is really cool as a concept, but as a person, she doesn't really have a lot of like oomph to her. Like she does, and she does a lot of things that she chooses to do a lot of things that are very interesting, but she's also useless in some instances in a way of that like she just doesn't want to try, or she believes herself to be a little bit useless and becomes a little bit of like a damsel in distress type of thing. And a lot of things happen to her. There's not a lot of choices made. And I think that's my issue. Maybe it's also because I loved Yenna as a character so much. But yeah, Ori just doesn't quite get there as a character. As a fully fleshed out character. Like, she's got really cool powers, but like that's not the character, right? The powers can't just be the character. And I really didn't like the way that her love interests kind of went. I see what they were trying to do, but I think it would have been really interesting if they had gone a different way with Ori and Shiny, because Ori had Madding for a really long time, her lover, who was a godling. I don't know. I think it would have been more interesting if it had gone, instead of to lovers with Shiny at the end, if it had just been really, really solid friends. I think then we could have gotten an idea of like different love for Shiny and who Shiny really is. I wish it hadn't gone to lovers at the end. I think it would have been stronger if it was just friends. God, we don't see enough of just platonic friendship between people, it always has to end up being sexual in some way. And I'm just like, can Ori just be a good person for Shiny to be around and be like not sexual at all, just be like a genuine like heart love and friendship love? Like, is friendship love not strong enough? What's going on? I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, that was the third book of the weekend and my least favorite of the weekend. We started on the highest note, my friends, and we just kept going downhill. But I did carve through 3 books I wanted to on my TBR, which is fantastic. I didn't read for 24 hours, I read for 14, which is fine. I think that's still pretty good, considering I did also spend a lot of time crocheting, watching Criminal Minds, sitting on my couch. I forgot to watch The Phantom Menace, the rest of The Phantom Menace. That's okay, I'll watch it tomorrow. Mental health wise, I am feeling better than I was at the beginning of the weekend. I feel like I'm trying to claw myself out of it, and I do have therapy tomorrow. I have therapy tomorrow. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to set like 20 alarms and throw my phone across the room to make sure I'm up for it. I mean, I have to get up for work anyways, but like, I've been having so much trouble waking up at all. And that's like a surefire sign of my mental health being in the gutter, is my sleep just being ruined. Anyways, I will see you tomorrow to end out this vlog, but we did it. 3 books down, 14 hours of reading time. Hello friends, happy Monday. Please excuse the mess that is my hair. I intended to wash it this morning, but then I remembered I had therapy last night, so I didn't have time. But it was in like a braided bun all day, so it's just, you know when your hair starts to hurt? Anyways, happy Tuesday. It's not Monday, happy Tuesday. I just got home from work and I just finished eating dinner. And because I've been in such a shitty mental health mood, and because I got an email today from McNally, my local bookstore, and also because I had therapy, the email from McNally was that I had a pre-order ready to pick up. I decided to go to McNally and treat myself, 1, to getting that pre-order, 2, to picking up a new book, and this sweater. I have been wanting a McNally sweater for so long. Today was the day, friends. Today was the day. It was meant to be. So now I'm cozy and there's something about brand new sweaters, especially when they're super cozy like this. Just love. Anyways, the pre-order that I picked up today was the Tea Dragon Society complete set of graphic novels, and these are the paperbacks. I haven't even opened it yet. Look at these little babies on the back. How adorable. Oh, gorgeous. So we have the first one, which is the Tea Dragon Society. I pre-ordered the release of the paperbacks for these graphic novels because the hardcovers are just so expensive, and the box set with all 3 of them was very reasonable. And then we also have Tea Dragon Festival, which is just so cute. And then we have the Tea Dragon Tapestry, which is just beautiful. I'm so excited to dive into this beautiful world of the tea dragons, because I know it's just like supposed to be so super cozy. But yeah, and it has this beautiful slipcase for them to live in, which is just gorge. There's just something about a slipcase, you know? The one that I picked up was this RuneScape, the gift of the Gothics by Erin M. Evans. That is the only reason I picked this up. Would I pick up a RuneScape novel otherwise? No, absolutely not. But I looked on Goodreads, and one of the first reviews says that you don't need any prior knowledge of RuneScape to go into this and totally enjoy it. So yay. I'm very excited about that because I've been looking at it anytime Erin shares it on social media, and this cover is really cool. Yeah, I treated myself today to that. Anyways, my friends, I have none of the books that I read this weekend around me. This weekend was a random readathon where I decided to do like a timer LED thing where I ended up reading for 14 hours in total, just about. And I ended up reading The Poisons We Drink by Bethany Baptiste, which I rated 4.5 stars. And then I read These Burning Stars by Bethany Jacobs, which I ended up rating 3.5 stars. And then finally, The Broken Kingdoms. I can't keep these titles straight in my head. The Broken Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin, which I only gave 3 stars to. I'm so disappointed in that one. I don't know why. It just really didn't work for me. It didn't hit. It didn't work. I don't know what went wrong with this one. Hopefully the third one will work. I also wrote about 1,400 words for a project for Sage's story book 1, or Far Horizons trilogy book 1, which is exciting. I'm now sitting at about 3,500 words in that draft, which is more than I expected, being kind of just at the cusp of coming out of this depressive episode. Therapy was good today. It was much needed. Weirdly, perfectly timed. Anyways, my friends, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I wasn't too much of a drag in some spots. I think I still kept the energy up despite feeling lacking in the energy. I hope you enjoyed the 14-hour random readathon that I did this weekend. It was much needed. I needed to just have a long weekend to myself, rest, recuperate, do nothing but sit on the floor, watch Criminal Minds, read some books, and crochet. That's basically what I did this weekend. Let me know also down below what your favorite book of May is so far. I don't know if I can pick a favorite book of May yet. It might be The Poisons We Drink. I've read 7 books so far in May. So I think that's it. I think that's my favorite one so far. I'm also hoping to read the rest of Relics of Ruin this month before the end of the month. And also I would love to read Blood Over Brighthaven. And if like everything is wonderful and perfect, I would also like to read Rubicon as well. Another 3 books is reasonable? What is today? Oh yeah, it's only the 21st. I got 10 more days to read books. So 3 more is reasonable, and I got some on my Kobo that I want to read. Anyways, friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hope you enjoyed. I will catch you in another video very soon. Stay kind and keep on reading. Keep on reading.